never seen so many of my idols here in one studio.
Unbelievable.
It's great. It's been a gas from beginning to end.
My fellow cohorts in the victimless crime of rock and roll.
If I had a party in my backyard, this is who I'd invite anyway.
We're all here and it's like one happy family.
It's like one big family, you know. One big black leather metallic family.
Yeah.
Joining us in the studio now, Ronnie James Dio, who is the person who is at the helm of the Hear and Aid project.
Captain, so to speak.
Captain, so to speak, I guess. Last May you had 40, I guess, of probably the premier hard rockers from the UK and from the United States together in the studio to record, I guess, what was the heavy metal answer record to USA for Africa.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we did it a long, long time ago. It seems like a long time since it's come to fruition here, but there are a lot of little problems along the way. But the project itself was wonderful. I think it opened a lot of minds. I know it did to mine. It opened a lot of hearts, too, and it did that to mine, too. Initially, I really didn't want to take part in this project. I was busy doing our own album, which was the last piece of product we had released, Sacred Heart. And I felt that it was just another one of those projects, another problem to deal with. Let someone else do it. Let George do it. Let Charlie do it. And then I was forced to be involved with it, really. And then it made me realize what an awful person I must have been not to have realized that this is an ongoing problem that will always be happening, and that the awareness that this product that we've given people, stars and whatnot, it just helps along the way to make people remember that it never, never, never stops.
How were you pressured into doing it?
Well, it was originally conceived by our ex-guitar player, Vivian Campbell, and our still bass player, Jimmy Bain, who had gone to a thing that was done by KLOS, the rock station in Los Angeles, who had a thing called Rock Relief for Africa. It was the only project of its kind that was doing anything by heavy metal for the starvation situation at the time. And when they were there, they realized that none of the people from our musical genre, from heavy metal, from hard rock, were doing anything at all. So they thought, well, we'll call a few friends and see if there's any interest. There was. Then it came time for them to own up, to have a song together and have to put it in the studio. And they needed someone, I guess, with a figurehead of my strength to do it. So they asked me to do it. And I said, no, I don't want to do it. I have something else to do. And I eventually had to, because they did need someone stronger at the helm. So I said, all right, I'll do it. Moan, 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 as we all do. Then discovered that I was a real idiot for not wanting to take part of it, with it in the first place, and did. And then became completely caught up in all of it, which I am now.
Did you find that you surprised the establishment at all? Because I've heard some people say that the thought of heavy rockers doing a USA for Africa type of benefit gives them indigestion.
Never thought about it that way. To me, anyone who would make that kind of a statement doesn't really deserve to be around. I don't mean that we should off them, but maybe we should take them to Africa and put them in the same situations that these people are going through now. Does it matter who you are or what you are that you care enough to do something for someone? No, it doesn't matter at all.
Musically, it's just a straightforward heavy metal song, very melodic, but Vivian and I have written the music for it.
I was real flattered when Jimmy and Vivian from my Ronnie James band phoned me up and asked me if I wanted to do it, so I said to them, I'm on 24-hour call as soon as you got it ready.
A lot of people involved in this all know each other, and we've probably rubbed elbows and worked together on different occasions before, but never for so worthy of a cause. And everybody who's involved has donated not only their time, but their efforts, their energies, and probably a small part of their soul and heart.
Actually, sounds quite good. Are you comfortable with it?
The project was recorded last May. We had originally heard that it was going to be released August of 1985. Then it got pushed back to, I believe, November. And now here it is a year and a month later. It's quite a long time between the initial recording and the final release.
Well, we have to hark right back to those things about everyone in the world is not a nice person. We were promised a lot of things and a lot of help by some of the people who took part in the Stars project that you see, and a lot of people who said they couldn't give that day, but they would give for the LP. Well, that didn't come about. So again, proving that human nature has all different kinds of stripes running through it. It's taken us a year because it was an important project. It needed important people on it to sell this project, to keep the awareness alive, and we just didn't get that help from them. So it's taken us a year to get those important people. Scorpions, Rush, Kiss, ourselves, Y&T, and the others that are mentioned and did take part in it. They're the ones that really care. They're the ones who should get the pats on the back. But the important thing is that none of us are looking for pats on the back. We're only looking to help those people who need the help. But that is the reason it took so long. There aren't enough nice people in the world.
How do you think that the heavy rock fans are going to respond to Hearing Aid? Unfortunately,
there aren't enough of them. There aren't as many as would buy a We Are the World project, because we are dealing with a distinct part of society now. Those who have always been relegated to underground lovers of music, because the media notoriously doesn't give this kind of music a lot of attention. So you're going to find that the same people who have been closet cases are going to have to buy this project. There's just not enough of them to make that great impact, to make it a #1 record, or probably even a #10 record, or even fishing for it, a number 15 or 20 or 25. Doesn't really matter. As long as another project comes along after it. It doesn't have to be a project by hard rock or heavy metal people. It could be Plumbers of America or Carpenters of America. The important part is what we're trying to do is keep awareness alive, to tell people that starving never stops, so that every project keeps people aware of it. That's what's important.
Ronnie, you were the captain of the project, working untold hours in the studio with all of these great vocalists, some of the most fabulous and loud voices in the history of heavy rock on the other side of the glass. What was it like doing that for you?
Well, for me, it was a lot of work. It really was a lot of work. For the others, I think it was a lot more fun. I spent all of my time in the studio because I had each of these individuals an hour at a time to deal with. And my job was to make sure that they did the best job they could, that they were pleased as much as they could be. It was a strange situation for them to be put into. A lot of them had not been ever produced by me, of course, but a lot of them had been opening acts for me. So I did have a little string of affinity there. Again, I think the good times were had during the interviews when I was still in the studio, by the people meeting each other again for either the first time or after a long while. I know that they had a great time because I have seen the tape and the interview, which, of course, you will be showing. And if not, the guns will come up. For me, it was satisfying. I think extremely satisfying would be the statement that I would have to make about it. Fun it was when it was over. Drudgery it was when it was being done, but extremely satisfying and very heartwarming at the end of all of it for me.